And we have also observed that tones are not marked, and when they are marked, they are not correctly marked. So we are going to show in this presentation how the tones should be marked on Edo words. And what we did is to have the 4 patterns that you find in Edo 2-syllable words, 2-syllable nouns. That is the VCV nouns. You know, we put them in groups according to their rhymes in quotes. All right, so we'll continue. In tonal languages, tone is an integral part of the word, involved in making many differences between lexical and grammatical units. Edo contrasts 2 distinctive tones, high and low, in nouns of the VCV type, that is 2-syllable word nouns. In verbs of the CV type, that is monosyllable verbs, a low tone contrasts with a rising tone in the imperative mode. Imperative mode, that is when you pronounce such verbs, it's like giving order, and any Edo speaker should be able to react to such order. For instance, if I say no, I am asking you to drink. Okay? If I say day, I am asking you to fall. So these are, monosyllabic verbs in the imperative mode. In speech, native Edo speakers do not have any problems pronouncing correctly any word and its inherent tone. However, the situation is completely different in writing. Observation of many written texts in the language reveals that tones are incorrectly and haphazardly marked. The focus in this presentation is to highlight the basic procedures in correctly marking tones in the language. Conventionally, the low tone is marked by the grave accent, as you have it there, whereas the high tone is marked by the acute accent. The strategy for discriminating between the high and low tones is using the musical notes do in do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. For the people who are good in music, in which the first do represents the note on which the low tone is pronounced, and the last do of the octave represents the note on which the high tone is pronounced. The 2 basic tones in Edo result in 4 tonal patterns in disyllabic words, that is 2-syllable words. So you have the words with the low, the words with the high, the words with low followed by high, and then the words with high followed by low tones. In the language, words with the high-low pattern undergo an assimilatory process known as tone spreading, whereas whereby the low tone following the high tone is phonetically realized as a falling tone. In other words, you have in a word like oka. What I just pronounced, oka, is the phonetic realization of the high-low tone pattern. There are many of such examples as we will see in a short while. So let us look at the Edo VCV words as you have it there. Number 1 to 5. There are 4 columns. The first 2 columns are the words with the low tone pattern, the phonetic form, and their orthographic form. And then the last 2 columns, you have the words with the high tone pattern. So you have the first one there, osa, AC. Then second, uye, ogo, enye. So those are the first 5 words with the low tone pattern. Whereas to the right, you have the words with the high tone pattern as you have it in oso, ada, aga, oba, iro. Then you continue with 6 to 10, ere for low, ona, oza, eve, etu. So those are words with the low tone pattern. And then for the high tone pattern, you have owe, uko, asa, awo, ore. There are more examples. So from we have there 1 to examples 25. So for each of the low tone patterns and then high tone patterns. So you have there 21 to 25, apa, ese, use, odo, obe. So you can see all those words rhyme tone-wise. Just as you have the high, odo, ikpo, awe, ugu, awo, they all rhyme the same way too. Then the next set, you have the words low followed by a high tone in the disyllabic words, and then a high followed by a low tone. Let us take the low followed by a high tone first, and we have words like obo, ebe, ebo, aka, eka. Then you have oka, owa, awa, ewe, owo, eva, eha, ele, ise, igbe, oke, oko, ako, eko, ehe, eho, aho, eko, edo, ubo, iko. So you have the low-high rhyme, all the examples as indicated. So we'll go back and consider the tones with the high-low tone patterns, as we have in ako, oro, ebo, ere, ahwe, ope, iba, aban, sorry, ipe, iba, oko, uzo, epo, ude, oka, egan, oko, uko, ikan, are, ora, ara, ohi, iran, eka. So those are the words, the two-syllable words. But we have more than two-syllable words with more than two syllables. And the tones are also varied. So you have the homotones, that is a sequence of lows, and then words with a sequence of highs. So let us consider the sequence of lows first, as you have it in isikan, isoton, ihoi, atosi, atete, orede, odibo, obodo, ihoho, ogogo, ogogo, ipesi, irogai, ugegbe, ugbodia, agbada, ukyokyo, ukpokpo, irikpa, ubidon. So we look at the polysyllabic words with sequence of high tones, as we have in ukoko, atata, in atatawe, for instance, ikpata, ekpowo, egogo, ero, ikoto, osisi, agbada, apata, asegye, apoko, uwuwon, ekpowo, itoro, ewinya, egbodi, enina, isoko. So these are words with the sequence of high tones in syllables, words with more than two syllables. Then we have, words with varied tonal patterns. So you have the high, low, high, being represented as high, low, down-stepped high. You have it in words like ikeke, ikolo, asele, Let us take that pattern first. Then you have Uzola, Itoto, Uwa, Umweye. Then we'll move on to the next tonal pattern, and that is where the high is realized as a high falling, as you have it in Ukoki, Ipalo, Erohi. Then you have Upako, Atete, Obobo, Ukoki, Ogege. Then another tone pattern, that is, you have the low, high, low. They are lines phonetically as low, high, down step, low. Orere, Uhoge, Ulame, Ogeme, Etano, Urome, sorry. Then Ekpome. Yes, you also have it in Urome. Ekoki. Then we have the low, high, down step, low, as in Apapa. Egbowa, Oteso. Then we have the high, down step, high, Oboka, Egoko, Irowa. Then we have the high, low, becoming high, falling, low in Ukoko, Erodi, Osodi, Erele, Obele, Umodia, Utete. Then we have the high, down step, high in excuse me, Uwowa, Agigbe, Oweko, Iyayi. Then we have the low, high, low becoming low, high, falling, as you have it in Eruwo, Oyuko, Etelo, Etisa. Then you have the high, down step, low in Ozigwe, Ekoki. Then we'll have the high, down step, low, okay, Ozigwe and Ekoki. Then tone contrast on Edo monosyllabic verbs. And in this case, you have the contrast between the low tone and the rising tone, as we have it in the following examples. You have the contrast between day, which means fall, versus day, that is to tie. Tie a goat, for instance. Then you have sa, da, la, se, lo. For instance, le here, and then lo, pon. Pe, ba, and another ba one. Ho. Then you also have grammatical functions of the tones in Edo, and the grammatical functions are for present continuous or habitual tense versus past perfective. So, tone play an important role not only in distinguishing between lexical items, but also in marking grammatical differences in Edo. So present non-perfective or habitual tense versus past perfective marked by tones. So we have in A there, the first example is ile, irai. That is, I am cooking food. That is, I'm cooking. As at the present, as you are saying me, I am cooking food. Then, to indicate the habitual tense, you have the same ilewai. That is, it is my duty. I have it as a profession, so to speak, to cook ilewai. Then this contrasts with the past, where you have the high tone on the le, which becomes le in ile irai. That is signifying an action that has been completed. I cooked food. Oh, I cooked. Okay. Then we have in B, ileraene. No, sorry. Ileraene. That is, I am already cooking. That is present non-perfective. As opposed to ile iraene. That is, I have already cooked. That is, past perfective. Ile iraene. So you have the contrast between ile iraene and ile iraene. So the low tone on the verb is in I am already cooking. Ilivaene. Whereas the high tone on the same verb indicates that the action has been completed. Ilivaene. I have already cooked. Then B, us look at the low and high tone depending on the tense. Ide, owa, I am buying a house, currently buying a house. Or it is my duty, it's my profession to buy houses. That is what you have there in Idowa. It can signify the present non-perfective or the habitual tense. Whereas Idowa, where the high tone is on the verb, Ide, Owa. That is, I bought a house. It's an action that has been completed in the past. Then the second example here is the past non-perfective and past perfective. So the low tone in the past non-perfective, Idowane, that is, I am already buying a house, but the action is not completed. As opposed to Ide Owane, that is, I have already bought a house. That is, the action is completed. So you have Idowane as opposed to Idowane. Then the third example we have here is Ide Owa. That is, I'm buying a store in the market, for instance. I'm buying a store. As opposed to Ide Owa. So you have, that is, I bought a store. So when you say Idowa, that is present continuous, as opposed to Idowa, that is, I have completed the action of buying a store. Ide Owa, that is Idowa. You see, because of the elision processes, the two will be phonetically realized the same way. That is, Idowa, meaning I'm currently buying a house, having a store, and then Idowa, and that is because of the tonal patterns in the underlying forms. That is the words that constitute each of the utterances. It is in the underlying form that you will see where the low tone is on the verb in the continuous tense, whereas the high tone on the same verb in the past tense. But in the surface form, that is the way they are actually pronounced, because of the elision of the e in both cases, they give rise to the same surface phonetic form. That is the same way of pronouncing the two, as if they are the same utterance. No, it is when you look at the base form that you know that the tones on each of them is not the same. Then let us look at this one, the past perfective. Ide Owane, I'm already buying a store. Ide Owane, not there, the low tone on the verb. As opposed to Ide Owane, that is, I have already bought the store. So you will see there idowane, and then idowane. You can see the last high tone on the neck is a step lower than the previous high. That is why you feel that difference between idowane and idowane. When you look at the bass form, you will see the tones on each of the vowels. Then tones also, when you use the auxiliary, that is one of the complexities and the rich pattern of the Edo tonal system. So here the auxiliaries ga, hian, ra signify future. They are future markers. And then you have that, depending on the tone, and then te as spectral markers for the progressive and inception of aspects of a process. So let us look at the first example there. Orayo eko, orayo eko, which after elation and the rest, you now have orayo eko. That means he will or he shall go to Eko, which is the Edo word for Lagos. Orayo Eko, which becomes Orayo Eko after the elation processes. Compare that with this one, Ihianyo Eko. So it is also, indicating a future marker. Ihianyo Eko, which after elation and all, you have Ihianyeko. I am getting ready to go to Lagos, or I am at the point of going to Lagos. You see, these are nuances that are realized by the type of tones on each of those auxiliary verbs. Then you also have it in irayo eko, irayo eko. That is, I am getting ready or at the point of going to Lagos. So you see the three auxiliaries, the way they are used there. Ra, in this case, irayeko, irayeko. Then the other one, ihianyeko. Okay? So these are the interesting thing about the interesting things about the Edo tonal realization. Then let us look at another example here now. Where the Ra represent the progressive, that is an action that is not completed. Orali Irae, he is eating. He or she or it is eating. So after elation you have Orali Irae. But you must know the base forms. That is when each of the words constituting that utterance is represented. Each of the words must be represented in the base form. That is why you know the tone on each of the vowels. So after elision, you can see there are tonal processes there that you must understand. So Orali Evae, which becomes Orali Evae, is eating. Different from Orali Evae, you see? That is, it's conditional, for instance. Orali Evae is different from Orali Evae. Okay? Then, this Orali Evae is conditional. Orali Evae, or something, like that. So, all this must be correctly indicated to be able to know what is being referred, the tense that is being used. Otherwise, it will be a mix-up. And so, there is no Edo native speaker that cannot correctly pronounce all these things in running speech. Okay? But, for the linguist or the phonetician or the person in syntax or in morphology, they must be able to know the base forms of each of the utterances. That is where you'll be able to know what is actually happening tone-wise, whether it is a low tone that is used or a high tone that is used. Then, there is another interesting utterance. You have it in I think 3 sets like that. So, igbe, ewe, igbe, ewe. That means I am killing a goat. That is why you have Ti is equal to T0. That is, the time the action is taking place is when the utterance is made. Igbe, ewe, which becomes igbewe, which can also be habitual. Like it is my duty, my profession to kill goats. Okay? Then let us look at the second. Igbe, ewe, which is phonetically realized as igbewe, igbewe. Not igbewe, is igbewe. So you can see there, the time you are reporting the speech is not the same as when the action took place. That is why you have there, Ti is less than T0. Okay? Then the third one, igbewele. Igbewele. That means I am already killing a goat. That is, the action started, but the time you are reporting it is, posterior to the time, the action took place. Okay? And then you have in 4, igbe ewele. I have already killed a goat. Then the 5th there, itegbe ewe. I almost killed a goat. You can see, just by varying the tones, you have different, tense marker, aspectual markers, and all that. That is the rich aspect of the tonal system of the language. Itegbe ewe. I almost killed a goat. Then let us look at the other one. 6. Itegbe ewe. I had started killing a goat. Itegbe ewe. Itegbe ewe. That is, maybe somebody has started the action of killing a goat, and then they say, no, it's not time. No, it take better. It take better winning. Different from it take better winning. It take better winning. I had already killed a goat. It take better. Yes, I had almost killed a goat. Right? I had almost killed a goat. That is, in the past, it's like somebody who ran into a goat while driving. Take me with me. So it's a very complex and interesting system. Thank you.